What's good, everybody? It's the Clown with Cap show. We got NFL Week 5 and really some big games. First of all, the Thursday night game, I started off wrong. I picked Tampa Bay to win that game. Obviously, I didn't think the Bears would really come out the way they did. Tom Brady had a hiccup. How often do we see Tom Brady have a hiccup? Not really that much, but hey, he is human. He's not Superman after all, right? So it makes sense. But look, shout out to the Bears. I mean, who would have thought the Bears would be as good as they are this year? Yeah, obviously the past couple years been iffy. 2018 losing to Philly in the playoffs, a heartbreak. To me, shout out to the Bears. For real, shout out to the Bears. But one of the biggest games of this weekend is obviously my Colts versus the Browns. And this is an even matchup, even money line right here. I love this matchup here. Honestly, who would have thought the Colts and the Browns would be 3-1 going into week 5? Yeah, really? Who would have thought that? Nobody thought that. Yeah, we were caught off guard on this. Obviously, the Colts lost the first game, and I thought when they lost the first game, I said the Colts should tank. And obviously, they're not listening. Obviously, they're playing to go into the playoffs, and it's going to be hard. Let's be honest here. You're going to have to play Kansas City, dude. I mean, it's going to be rough for you. It's going to be hard, but I think overall, this matchup's going to be interesting. It really boils down to how good is Baker Mayfield going to play? You understand, how good is he going to play? Last week against the Dallas Cowboys, they got the upset, dude. And this was very surprising to me the way they did it. I mean, obviously, Baker only had 165 yards for 2 touchdowns, but, shout out to Odell. 2 touchdowns, 5 receptions for 81 yards. And I even said, look, when Baker Mayfield includes Odell as his main target, the Browns can be dangerous. And look at him now. And I really think Baker, if he makes the playoffs, as I said at the beginning of the season, he will get the extended contract. No doubt about it, which he should. Hard work pays off, and I think for Baker, what a story, right? Really, really amazing to me. But I think for Odell, he needs to be targeted every single game. At least 5 receptions. I'm saying 5 on average, minimum. I want those to increase. I want those to increase, so I expect Baker to have a big game. And I think, every time I pick the Colts, they lose. So if I pick against them, more times they win. So, you know what? I'm going to go the Browns here at home. That's my pick. I know it's crazy, me being an Indianapolis Colts fan. The Colts won last week. Jonathan Taylor, 17 carries for 68 yards. Rivers, 190 passing yards with 1 touchdown. But I think if the Colts win, it's with Jonathan Taylor and them keeping Baker off the field. That's how they're going to win this game. Let's be honest here. That is their only shot for me is for the Colts. But like I said, I'm going with the Browns here. I'm telling you, this is crazy. Who would have thought 3-1, both these teams? But I like this matchup. I want to see the Colts win, obviously, but I'm going with the Cleveland Browns on this pick. Then we got the Panthers versus Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons opened up as 1-point favorites. Now, obviously, this might change prior to the game, but, to me, it's crazy, right? I mean, Atlanta's winless right now. They haven't won a game. To me, Matt Ryan last week versus Green Bay, he had 285 yards against Green Bay, but they still lost. Like I said, they're winless. Teddy Bridgewater against Arizona last week got the dub. He had 276 yards passing with 2 touchdowns. Robbie Anderson, he had 8 receptions for 99 yards. I think if the Panthers win this game, it's if Teddy Bridgewater has a great game. That's really what it boils down to. If Teddy Bridgewater throws more touchdowns than interceptions, and I think, obviously, if Teddy Bridgewater throws 0 interceptions, I think they're going to win this game. So I expect Atlanta to win. I want them to win, but I'm going with the Panthers on this pick. I think Teddy Bridgewater gets it done. Obviously, McCaffrey's been out. I think McCaffrey will eventually come back here soon, right? I mean, let's be honest, dude. It's that time. It's time to come back, and I think McCaffrey will eventually come back. Obviously not this week, which will be hard, but obviously Atlanta should be favorite, but they're winless, but I'm going with the Panthers. Then we got the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs undefeated. I mean, really, it's Kansas City versus the whole league right now. Kansas City by far the best team in the league. Okay, best offense in the league, hands down. Mahomes is just a dog. Last week versus the Patriots, he had 236 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kelsey had 3 receptions for 70 yards. It's Kansas City. They just have so many weapons, dude, from across the board. And obviously, Mahomes, the biggest contract in NFL history, well deserved for Patrick Mahomes. Let's be honest here. The Kansas City Chiefs could be the next New England Patriots here. This is some serious, and I mean, obviously, who's going to stop Kansas City right now? They look unstoppable. Las Vegas Raiders, Derek Carr last week versus Buffalo. They ended up losing. He had 311 yards with 2 touchdowns. And obviously, Josh Jacobs, I feel like he needs to get the rhythm going. Yes, he had a good game against the Saints, but I think if the Las Vegas Raiders win this game, it's with Josh Jacobs, play action pass, and obviously stopping Mahomes. But, Kansas City opens up at 12-point favorites. 55 is the over-under. I'm going with the over on this one. Obviously, I don't bet on the over-under. I just like to do it, but I'm going Kansas City. I'll take the points, 12. So therefore, they have to win by 13 for you to win the bet. I like Kansas City in this matchup. Like I said, Kansas City's just a high-powered offense, and they will get it done. And shout out to Patrick Mahomes, probably the best quarterback right now. Okay, yes, I get it. Drew Brees, Tom Brady, yes, they're legends. But as far as, hot streaks right now, definitely Mahomes is the hottest quarterback right now. Then we got Arizona versus the Jets. Jets are just trash, dude. I mean, Jets are probably the worst team in the league. Sam Darnold versus Denver. They ended up losing last week to Denver. He had 230 yards. I mean, dude, it's sick, man. I mean, I feel sorry for Jets fans because they are trash, dude. It's looking like you're not going to win any type of playoff games during this whole decade right now, starting in 2020. It's really sad for me. Jameis Crowder, he had 7 receptions for 104 yards for the Jets, but I expect Arizona Cardinals to come out and have a heyday here. I expect Murray to have a great game. He had 3 touchdowns last week versus Carolina Panthers. DeAndre Hopkins also had 7 receptions for 41 yards. I expect Murray to get DeAndre Hopkins involved a lot more. Larry Fitzgerald, the Hall of Famer, the vet, I expect him to get involved more. So I like Arizona in this matchup. Obviously, the Jets, dude, they're trash. I like Arizona. I'm picking Arizona at New York. I like that pick. Then we got Philly versus Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is 7-point favorites here. Pittsburgh's 3-0. Coming off a bye week. Look, Pittsburgh's beat the Giants, which is not that good. Denver, which is really suspect. And the Texans, they're winless right now. So to me, Pittsburgh, obviously, they're favorites, but I'm going with the dog here. I'm going Philly. Philly got the squeak out win last week at 49ers. To me, Carson Wentz, 193 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Look, if Carson Wentz plays great, which he's due for a great game here. When I say great game, is 4 touchdowns and only 1 pick or 0 picks. That's what I mean by great game. Probably more 0 picks, 4 touchdowns. That's what I expect Carson Wentz to come out. I expect Philly to come out. And look, if Philly wins this game right here, they're right back into the discussion. And obviously, they started off horribly in the first couple weeks of the season. But to me, I'm going with the Philly with the upset at Pittsburgh. I expect Carson Wentz to have a heyday, and I expect Philadelphia's defensive line to really put pressure on Rapist Big Bad and really sack him. So I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles here. 44 is the over-under. I would say more towards the under on this pick. But like I said, a lot of people like the over on this one, though. It's really a coin flip, I think. I really believe it's going to be a little bit low scoring, but I expect Carson Wentz to have a heyday. Like I said, I got Philly in this matchup. Then we got the Rams versus the Washington team. Amazing. The Rams, dude, Goff versus the Giants last week. 200 yards, 1 touchdown. Kupp had 69 yards for 1 touchdown as well for the Rams. I expect the Rams to really have a heyday as well against the Washington team. The Washington team, look, Rivera came out and said Dwayne Haskins is being benched right now. He said he hasn't gave up on him. He's not giving up on him, which I do respect. But, Kyle Allen starting, in front of him, I kind of think that's a question mark here. We're talking about Kyle Allen. Who is Kyle Allen? Exactly. Nobody knows who the F is Kyle Allen is, dude. Like, crazy to me. Alex Smith needs to be in there. Or bring back Dwayne, dude. Seriously, but to me, Alex Smith not starting right now on this game. Kyle Allen, out of all people, crazy to me. But the Rams are 7-point favorites in this pick. I like this pick. I like the Rams. I expect them to win by at least 2 touchdowns. I would say if you're betting your buddies here, I would give you 14 points. I really would. I expect the Rams to come out. 45 is the over-under. I like the over on this matchup. I really do, but I like the Rams to come out and get the dub. Then we got the Bengals versus the Ravens. The Ravens are 12-point favorites, which they should be. Obviously, last week for the Bengals, Burrow finally got his first dub as a pro, dude. It's got to feel good, dude. He had 300 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Joe Mixon, the running back, had 25 carries for 151 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now, if the Bengals were to get the upset, it's definitely Joe Burrow passing and obviously Joe Mixon running the ball, controlling the clock, and keeping Lamar Lamar off the field. That's the recipe to beat these high-powered offenses, like the Ravens, like Kansas City, even like the Rams, like the teams that score the most points, dude. I'm telling you, keep them off the field. That's what it boils down to. But I gotta go Ravens at home. 12-point favorites. I would say more towards the money line on this pick, but I do expect Cincinnati Bengals to really give them a game. This might be an upset alert, and I understand my upset pick was definitely Philly over Pittsburgh, but still, the Bengals could really come out and upset and surprise some people, but I'm still taking the Ravens at home. 12-point spread is pretty deep. I would go money line on this pick. I really would. 50 and a half is the over-under. Honestly, I really don't want to touch the over-under on this game. I really think it would probably be under. That's where I'm going here. But I like the Ravens money line on this pick. Then we got the Jags versus the Texans. The Texans fired their head coach. They're winless right now. It's really surprising to me after signing Deshaun Watson in the offseason. To me, it's just I don't know what's going on with the Houston Texans right now. I thought for sure they would win at least 1 or 2 games by now, dude. Well, I mean, I'm just in shock, dude. I cannot believe it. I'm just like, really? How does that happen, dude? Watson versus Minnesota last week had a good game. 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Will Fuller, the ex-Notre Dame, had 6 receptions for 108 yards and 1 touchdown. Minshew last week versus Cincinnati, he had 351 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick. But like I said, I like the Texans to get their first win here. You're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars out of all people. Like, if you guys lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars, I feel like the Texans, they should tank and draft like a receiver or somebody to help Deshaun Watson out. That's what I think, but I like the Texans. The Texans are 5.5-point favorites. Like I said, these spreads could change prior to the game, minutes before the game, but I like the Texans, man. I really do. 54.5 is the over-under. I like to go with the under on this pick, but I like Texans at home. I expect Deshaun Watson to have a breakout game here, 4 touchdowns in the dub. Let's go, Texans. I want to see it happen. Come on. Prove to me. Then we got Miami versus the 49ers. 49ers are 9-point favorites here, which they should be. Obviously, they're banged up. Their starting quarterback, the 49ers, Mullins, last week, he threw a pick 6, dude. Really determined the game. This was really bad, and I thought, obviously 49ers had some momentum going in, and throwing pick 6 is not going to cut it, dude, against Philly. Kittle, he had 15 receptions for 183 yards and 1 touchdown last week. I think, obviously, Kittle's their main guy. Everybody knows that. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out. Okay? Yes, my S's suck. Okay, I get it. And then we got Fitzpatrick last week versus Seattle. 315 yards and 2 picks. Dude, when's Tua going to come in, dude, and get his opportunity? That's what people need in life is opportunity. And I expect the Miami Dolphins to eventually give this rookie his opportunity, dude. Fitzpatrick's been in the league for a while, dude. Come on. Devontae Parker for the Miami Dolphins had 10 receptions for 110 yards last week, but I expect the 49ers to get the dub at home. 9 points, I'll take that. If you think that's sus, go money line on this pick. But I like the 49ers, dude. I like them. They're playing Miami Dolphins, but this could be an upset game. Any given Sunday, you just never know in NFL, dude. It's crazy. And then the Giants versus the Cowboys. Cowboys are 8.5-point favorites. Cowboys only won 1 game this year. And Dak Prescott has been playing out of his mind, dude. Dak, I've been giving Dak some hatred recently, saying, Dak, this is it. His make or break year. If they don't make the playoffs, I really think they should release him. And I'm really kind of sticking to that. But I was obviously watching the past couple weeks the way Dak's been playing. It really boils down to the head coaching staff and the defense right now. It has nothing to do with Dak Prescott, dude. I mean, Dak Prescott's been going off, dude. Over 500 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Browns last week, and yet they still lost. Cooper, he had 12 receptions for 134 yards and 1 touchdown. Amari Cooper. But I think, for Dallas, dude, this is your game to really pan out right here, and this is a must-win for Dallas. Because if you guys lose to the Giants, they're sore, they're banged up. Saquon's out for the year. There's no excuses, dude. The Cowboys need to win this game. I'm taking the Cowboys. I'll take the points here. 8.5, I'll take that all day, every day, dude. Seriously, I'll take that. 54 is the over-under. I'll take the under. But like I said, I'm going Cowboys 8.5. I'll take that all day. Then we got Minnesota versus Seattle. Seattle's undefeated as well. Same thing with Kansas City and Pittsburgh. But Seattle, 7-point favorites, which I feel like it's kind of a lot, really. I thought it would be more like 5 or 4 in this range. Simple fact that Minnesota's a good front seven. They normally always have Wilson last week versus Miami, 60 yards and 2 touchdowns. Russell Wilson, definitely one of the most underrated quarterbacks we've seen in the past, 5 years at least. But I think Russell Wilson definitely winning MVP right now. A lot of people would say Aaron Rodgers, but the way Russell Wilson has been playing right now, balling out, Russell Wilson's my front runner, 100%. Dalvin Cook last week versus the Texans, over 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cousins, 260 passing yards with 1 touchdown. Obviously, I think Minnesota wins if they can stop Russell Wilson. That's really what it boils down to. And if Dalvin Cook can really have his way, if Dalvin Cook rushes for over 100 yards, I expect Minnesota to win here. But the way Seattle's been playing, dude, 4-0 right now, they're on fire. It'd really be ignorant to pick against Seattle right now. They're just on fire, dude. They're on a heater. If this was cards, they're on a heater, dude. They cannot lose a hand right now. And that's what the Seattle Seahawks are doing. I'm going Seattle. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota wins on a game-winning kick. Something in that aspect, but I'm going with Seattle here. Then we got the Broncos versus the Patriots. Patriots, Cam Newton's out with COVID. I think Cam will be back eventually, hopefully next week, maybe in 2 weeks or something like that. It's really crazy to me dealing with where we're at in society with COVID, right? But, you're playing the Broncos here. Brian Hoyer got the start for the Patriots. He had 130 yards. But to me, it's just like, come on, dude. The Broncos, Melvin Gordon versus the Jets last week, 23 carries, 107 yards with 2 touchdowns. Now, obviously, Denver wants to run the ball. So if I'm the Patriots, we're stopping the run. We're making their subpar quarterback beat us, which I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going the Patriots here. The spread's fine. I'm going Patriots all day versus the Denver Broncos. Patriots, mark my words. Then we got the Chargers versus the Saints. The Saints are 7.5-point favorites. Breeze last week versus the Lions, 240 yards with 2 touchdowns. Kamara, he had 19 carries for 83 yards and 1 touchdown. I think the way the Saints played last week, they needed to win that game. That was a must-win game. Obviously, Chargers lost to the Bucs last week. Herbert, he had 290 yards, and he also had 5 carries for 14 yards. But like I said, I expect the Saints to come out. I expect Drew Brees this is a statement game right here. This is a statement game saying, look, we're good. We're punching our ticket into the playoffs. I know it's early in the season, but this is a statement game for the Saints. 7.5 right now. It'll probably be at 8 or 9 before game time, but I like the Saints here. I expect Drew Brees to have a breakout game, and I expect the Saints defense to really come out and show out here, so I like the Saints at home. Then we got the Bills versus the Titans. This is a Tuesday game. Move back to Tuesday. Both these teams are undefeated. Who would have thought that? Titans are coming off of a bye. Buffalo Bills last week, they ended up beating Oakland Raiders, dude. To me, great. The way Josh Allen is playing, dude, top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now. 288 yards and 2 touchdowns. Diggs, he had 6 receptions for 115 yards. We know Allen and Diggs, dude, they are a great combination right now. And the way the Buffalo Bills have been playing, dude, I really, I wanted to say Tennessee right here, but coming off a bye, I think they'll be a little rusty dealing with everything, dealing with the bye with COVID, all that shit that's going on. So I'm going with the Bills here. I'm going with the Bills. I think Josh Allen and Diggs get it done. I think the Bills defense is kind of underrated, so I'm going with the Bills with the upset here. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm going with the Bills. But overall, my upset pick of the week, like I said, Philly at Pittsburgh. I'm saying this because I expect Carson Wentz to have a breakout game. And we could vouch out here and say, look, Carson Wentz really has not had a good game. He really hasn't, dude. He really hasn't. So to me, obviously, yes, they won against 49ers, but, like I said, I expect Philly to come out charged. This is a statement game for Philly as well, but the biggest game to me, in my opinion, this weekend is definitely the Colts versus the Browns. Yes, I understand I'm a Colts fan. I love the Colts so much, but every time I pick the Colts to win, they lose. So to me, it'd be ignorant to pick them, right? But I want to see them beat the Browns in Cleveland. But the way Baker's been playing right now, it's really dangerous and really hitting Odell on the stride. And I think, the Cleveland Browns win if they keep feeding Odell the ball. Baker, that should be his mindset. If I'm the coach for the Cleveland Browns, I'm saying, look, Baker, you need to keep giving the ball to Odell. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, dude. No excuses. This is the NFL, dude. Every game is so important because when we look back at these games, when it comes to the end of the season, towards the playoff time, dude, we're going to say, look, these are really important right here. And a lot of teams that ended up losing the games they should have won will miss the playoffs. So to me, this is a huge game for the Colts, both these teams. But overall, man, I'm telling you what, I love these matchups. I love the NFL, baby. They're back. And I just pray to God that the NFL does not cancel the season because of COVID. Okay, I think they could have came out with different methods. But overall, baby, the NFL is here. Week 5, baby. Let's go!